moving on to topic 2. Holy shit, that was a long first topic. This will probably be a shorter one. It's kind of like a revisit, perhaps, maybe not. But I wanted to briefly talk about comfort shows. I don't know what made me think about this, but, well, actually, I do know. So, yeah, just want to talk about some shows that I find like as comfort shows, and like shows where you can kind of, you have it on, you not turn your brain off, but it just always kind of brings you those happy feelings. You really enjoy yourself. It doesn't matter where you are in the narrative. You could turn it on, share a laugh, and just kind of zone, relax, kind of disassociate from the world, disconnect. So oh boy, the reason I was thinking about this is because Nick at Night has always been one of those like series of programs in the lineup where you can turn that on, whether it was as a kid or even now, and those are some of the shows that really kind of hit and checked all those boxes like I was talking about. So like your Friends, George Lopez was one, The Nanny with Fran Drescher, like just having these shows on for some reason, Full House I guess being another one, they were always ones that really made me happy. And just like I said, it was short, quick. I guess you can, I don't know if it would be sitcom is the correct genre title for those, but you could jump in, have a laugh at stupid situations that the characters are getting into, which I guess defines sitcom. Situational comedy, Bret, come on. And just zone out. And yeah, so I think running into that recently, just throwing on Nickelodeon, still being like, oh yeah, they do still have these programs that just don't go away. They just kind of keep rerunning them. Made me think about this and what are some of my most favorite shows to just put on and get that quick moment of happiness. Like I said, disconnect, being able to relax. What are those? So we've talked about it before, but The Office is definitely one that I feel I can watch on repeat and just have that on and still have that emotional journey with those characters, even though I've seen those episodes probably 10 times over at this point. The Office is definitely one of those shows, and I was late to the party, like I feel like a lot of people were. Pandemic definitely helped a lot of us in terms of like, how do I fill my time? What do I watch? And streaming services helped with that. So The Office being one, whether it is just popping in for a quick episode to get the laughs or watching that narrative that they're telling, whether it is the full 9 seasons or just the season arc or whatever it is, you can have these bonds formed with the characters, have an emotional response with, and I feel like I said, even though I've seen The Office numerous times, I can still have that reaction from that show, and that just shows me how good of a narrative it is and like how much enjoyment I get out of it. So The Office is up there for sure. One of my favorite shows of all time, which I haven't watched in quite some time, and I definitely would love to, but How I Met Your Mother, I used to watch that on repeat on Netflix. Just boop, 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 boop. Oh, we're done with season 8 because this was before the show was over. Whoop, just start it right back over. Just have it on in the background, playing games or just zoning out while that was going on, laughing at all the dumb jokes over and over and over again. Noticing little different things here and there. That was definitely a great one. I did watch that a lot. I did. Yep. So yeah, How I Met Your Mother was great. Friends, I'll give that one a shout out too. That was one I hadn't watched all the way through till adulthood probably. Like I knew as a kid like it was popular and in the zeitgeist and everything. Going back and watching it, it's still a good time. I know there's certain things, obviously didn't age super well, but it's important too that we realize that, like, hey, maybe that joke doesn't land as well or what it did back in the day. We grow from it. That's the important thing. So we're just going to leave that there. Boop, pin over there. Friends is still really good. A lot of laughs there. Absolutely love there's a few episodes in there that I love, but like there's the whole we're on a break thing. There's the trivia for the apartment and Miss Chenandler Bong or whatever it is. Like that's a great time. A lot of laughs in that one. Papa Griff shouting them some here as well. Seinfeld, yeah, that's one I haven't delved into, but that's definitely a good one with some laughs too. Big Bang Theory is another one. I know those early seasons, I definitely watched those on loop, and had a good time with those, especially having the comic book aspect in it and just the more nerdy conversations. Like, yep, I can relate to these. So those were good. What else is there? I talked about George Lopez. I think King of Queens is another one. And like TBS was another channel that I felt had like a lot of good programs similar to this that had those vibes. King of Queens, and I mean Friends had the reruns on there. Everybody Loves Raymond was another good one to have on, just them shouting at each other. What else was there? I think this was Family Channel. I think My Wife and Kids, is that the right show? But that one I always really enjoyed, and they had a fun family dynamic there. You know, My Wife and Kids, I believe it is. Yeah. That was a great show. That My Wife and Kids and George Lopez, like those were very funny. Like I talked about it earlier, but you could just pop into an episode. They'd have those funny narratives that they are telling in those individual moments and stories and episodes, and you could jump in, laugh at things. But then if you really watch those shows all the way through, like, not that it's like, oh my god, breakneck TV where it's like the super serious thing, but they could have serious stories and elements, and you're like, oh shit, there's something going on with here. Like I remember Junior got into some shit in My Wife and Kids, and then Carmen from the George Lopez show, like she had a whole arc and like some serious stuff, and she was getting in trouble. Like I appreciated that there was that added layer to it. You could come in, just have a good time if you just needed something on in the background, but then if you wanted this story, you could have the, you know, development with the characters, you grow invested in them, go through this narrative with them, and then it's like, oh yeah, that was really satisfying. You know, that I appreciated that it wasn't just slapstick comedy. Sounds like a very bad descriptor, but just like haha hee hee blah. I think that's what makes these shows stand out a little bit too, as these comfort shows, is you can get multiple things from them. It's not just all stupid laughs. It's not the hardcore stories, which, don't get me wrong, those programs are really good for that. Like, you want those narratives. Like me recently watching The Boys. That's a very serious at times. There's definitely very weird, obscure stuff in The Boys, but like there's a strong narrative with consequences. Same with like an NCIS. Granted, that's, you know, more non-fiction based, reality based. Like, those shows are still good too, because they have you at the edge of your seat. They're dragging you along. You know, like Numbers. I know Mrs. G and I used to watch Numbers all the time. I think that was the one, right? Guy from Santa Claus. I think I'm right. Like, that was a really good show to watch. But in terms of these shows, it was nice to have that duality, I guess you could say, or those options. Let's see. Papa Griff said, Mom and I crushed the one with Patrick Warburton one time. Forgot what it was. Patrick Warburton. I know he was in... Oh, wait, hold on. No, I'm thinking Everybody Loves Raymond show. That's not him. They just both have deep voices. Not seeing it. Of course, they didn't bring it up. Why the hell? Did I type his name wrong? Oh, I just did Patrick Burton. Rules of Engagement? That one was good. I think I remember watching that a little bit. Yeah, I think that's the one you're talking about. Nice. Yeah, that was another funny one. Yeah. Why am I blanking now? I don't know. I guess I just wanted to gush about TV for a little bit, and these like shows that you don't really put a lot of stake into when you're watching them. It's just like, oh, this is going to be something funny to watch. I know there's other shows out there. Well, there's a lot of shows out there. Like, I know 2.5 Men. That was another show for some people. I don't think that one personally clicked with me all that much. But it feels like I just want to give a little bit more credit to these shows, and it's not just dumb television, where it really helps you as a person in terms of like finding that comfort zone, having something on to, calm you down, relax you, whatever it is, have a good time. And of course, this goes across all mediums of media. Is that what I'm saying? Forms of media. Like, there's a lot of things that can do that for you. You have your comfort movies that you can go to. If you play games, you have those games that can be those comfort things. If you read, it could be that. Numbers was what we watched. Thank you. It's just nice to have those go-tos that you can throw on, tap into, once again, disconnect. I know I keep repeating myself a lot in this episode, or this topic. It's just nice to have those things, and really, I just wanted to shout those out and appreciate it, what those things were able to do. So yeah, a lot of good stuff out there. Very quick rant here. Shorter topic. Like I said, I didn't know where I was going with this. But yeah, shout out to those comfort shows. Thank you for being there. Thanks for being a friend. That's cheers, right? Well, everybody, this has been another episode of the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast. My name is Bret, a.k.a. Enigma911, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma911. You can join us in the chat as we record it live Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Joining on the fun with us over there. But if you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. Go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least...